to describe it simply is we're the anti-roll-up, right? We're not trying to buy your business for a real cheap multiple utilizing all sorts of different financing techniques. No, we're literally partnering with you to create more value for your business and then aligning parties together have a much richer exit than you could possibly achieve on your own. It's win-win. Hey everybody, Ed Weeks Jr. here, back with another episode of the Weeks Weekly. Today, literally coming to you one of my favorite spots in my house, which is outside on my patio. You could see the lovely, beautiful trees behind me. You would never know you're in the city of Poughkeepsie. It may be 2 acres total back here, but it's amazing the wildlife that is actually held in that little tiny patch of woods. Deer, we've had coyotes this year, fox, raccoons. It's utterly amazing. Another thing I haven't seen back here yet, and I say yet because I think it's destined to happen one of these days, is a bear. But I'm not here today to talk to you about my little homestead here, but really about the grind, the struggle, and how tough it actually is getting after walking, right? I've been out upping my game. If anybody follows my social media, you'll see, the other morning we did a 4-mile walk myself. Wonderful friend of mine who, started as a client, but our relationship has become much more close and friendship and confidants and, just kind of coaching one another, I think, as we go through our daily walks or, weekly walks. We do a couple a week. But, we upped it to 4 miles the other day. Super stoked about it. Had a great golf tournament I was able to participate in on Wednesday. And yesterday I was supposed to get back after another walk. I wake up with the worst back spasms I've had. I'm sitting right now, very strange position in a chair here on my patio, but it's because the back is just fighting me. It doesn't want to change. It's weird, but resistance is real. I've gone through this before. It's interesting on the walks. The calves, the Achilles, the shins, how much pain you're in when you start, but after a mile, it was a half mile the other day, which was a good sign, but usually before that, as getting back in was, the mile mark would change the pain to just, go away and be able to crank out another couple miles, just fight through the pain. So that part of it's real. That's the health side, right? I really wanted to spend most of today's couple minutes in here, but most of today talking about the wealth side of this, the grind, right? Last 7 years been building ups and downs, roller coaster rides in a digital marketing agency, looked at acquisitions. I've looked at other avenues to grow, which has led me into, buying e-commerce companies, right? If your good team is good at marketing, you can drive the bottom line. Why not do it for a business you own? So I now own an e-commerce company, which, as a side note, I'm heading to Virginia this weekend through mid part of next week to sit with new partners. I'm super excited to get that e-commerce company rolling in the right direction. Again, we bought the original founder out, who is a great guy, just, business sense wasn't in line with the business sense that I possess and wasn't in line with the vision of where this company should go. So we're excited to bring it to where it should be. So look for some fun updates as we get going there. If you're in the journaling world, if you're into cannabis, if you're into coffee, do me a favor and check it out, shopgoldleaf.com. It's a great little product. There's some great prints, reprints, some really amazing stuff there, which we're just going to take to some new markets and do some new exciting products and just have some fun with it and really build a nice revenue stream here as 2023 progresses and into 2024. So one of the key components there is that I wanted to talk about is how hard it was to take over a really small, less than 400,000 a year revenue e-commerce play, and how much work went into actually acquiring it. It's just, thank God for my new partners, but also just going through a couple weeks of offboarding from the past founder into, our group now, and just the complications that come along and how much, like I said, how much work it truly is. So people talk about acquisition and how easy it is. And maybe from a perspective of a professionally run business, not a owner run business. But when it's an owner run business, man, it is tough. It is challenging. But the beautiful thing is when we get it to where we want it to go and have it professionally run, its value increases exponentially. So it'll pay off for us in the long run. But man, it's really, really difficult. And it's really opened my eyes to understand why people want to acquire much higher revenue producing professionally run businesses. But again, I think there's opportunity in a major way in these owner run businesses where you can, add significant value, make it professionally run, and, increase the worth of the business, right? It's what's led me into a second path, which is working with a couple of just amazing human beings and creating we've coined the marketing collective. Having gone through hundreds, if not thousands of digital marketing agencies, numbers, and looking to acquire and grow my own agency through acquisition, spearhead revenue growth by acquiring, it's become overly apparent to me of a very large missing need in the digital marketing space, which is the ability for creators and founders and owners to really ultimately capitalize on the potential that they've created. The reality is most of the buyers I know are not buying potential. They're buying the revenues you've created. So we've put together a really amazing vehicle which gets into, the standard operating procedures, all the processes, everything you're going to need to be able to scale, help you and coach you through that process. And I'm talking about a quick process. You have to be dedicated to it. But then also, as you're growing, taking other agencies that are in a similar spot that would make sense to be aligned with and putting 3, 4, 5 of these together to ultimately have a exit that is much more profitable for everyone involved. So it's win-wins. Yes, we're paid to do that. Small fees in the beginning, but we're taking a nice fee on the backside, but we're still looking at the potential for 3 to 3.5 to 4x more than an owner and a founder could experience just by trying to sell it alone, right? We're being very real with valuations, and we're being very real with the people we're aligning with. So we're in the process now of really just defining the agencies we want to work with and the people we want to work with to go out and roll out our first cohort. Because what we're seeing right now is the model, again, in that win-win scenario, is something that we can utilize across industry. Why did we choose digital marketing? Well, had a lot to do with the beginning foundations, and I'm very passionate about the space. And again, it's a real opportunity to do something different. There's lots of different people. Actually, just to describe it simply, is we're the anti-roll-up, right? We're not trying to buy your business for a real cheap multiple, utilizing all sorts of different financing techniques. No, we're literally aligning, partnering with you to create more value for your business, and then aligning parties together to have a much richer exit than you could possibly achieve on your own. It's win-win. It's just a fun experience to be in, and it's so different that it takes a lot of explaining, but it's ultimately extremely worth it. So I have great partners in it, and we're aligning ourselves right now. The final piece that is coming out here over the next few days, weeks, is the exit partner. So, not only are we going to have everything in line to get you ready, have you battle tested for the exit, but we're also going to have the partner who's going to represent and bring our cohort out for exit. So extremely excited about it, and just ready to just crush it in and bringing that into the space. So if you're interested in that, you're an agency owner, you're checking that out, please check out tnc.club. Really easy. The Marketing Collective, tmc.club, or you can visit themarketingcollective.club. The reason we use .club is because that's what we feel it is. It's just a powerful cohort we're putting together, powerful partners, powerful people, powerful agency owners inside of a club that is going to make everything just better, period. We see a lot of, without getting into the details, we see a lot of flaws in the way it currently operates in the world of private equity and in the world of brokers, and we're just putting some rights to the wrongs that we see. And I've been through some of the process of going through to try to exit, and just not a fun experience. And any owner who's, if you're not in digital marketing, but you've been through an exit process, you may know what I'm talking about. It's just promised the moon, delivered the dirt. So hopefully we have a major impact and we do some amazing things, and we go across a number of different industries and partner with a whole bunch of people and create a bunch of wealth. That's what the name of that game is, and it aligns perfectly with the path and the vision that I'm on now. So super excited. Check it out. And feedback is always appreciated. Like, somewhere in here will be my contact info below. Just send an email. Let's talk. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, you're confusing, you're in the agency space, let's have a conversation. I've talked to lots of people in the business, have a pretty awesome network around me. So look forward to changing the game a little bit and having some impact with a lot of different agency owners. So stoked about that. The last piece is really just my own agency, putting myself through the process of the SOPs and getting my agency aligned right now. One of the better opportunities is in front of me has come from partnership that I've done with a really awesome, I guess it's just referred to easier by, it's just a great API that aligns perfectly within, or right now I'm finding within the dental world, it helps really drive the lead generation side of what we're doing as an agency in the dental space. So we are in the process of launching our first truly 100% niched agency, and we're just going to take it to some awesome sales partners and get it out there. We've battle tested it, we've proven it, and we're going after a niche that is uber competitive, but we really feel some great differentiators in the ability to ultimately drive revenue and value to the dental offices we work with, both from an implant perspective, dental implants, and also just general dentistry and the ability to drive new patients, which, if any good dentist knows, prospects and cleaning, then initial things are great, but what really matters is ultimately driving the lifetime value for these offices, and that's the name of the game. So we're excited. I'm being very reserved because it's in the process. Once it's out there, I'll definitely cover more of it. But that's it for this week's episode. I really think it's the health struggles are real. Back definitely in a crappy spot right now, but we'll get through that. Off to Virginia in a few days to get down and really just lock the doors and whiteboard and put every path together for our e-commerce play, shopgoldleaf.com. Please check it out. The Marketing Collective is just starting to gain some serious momentum, working with agency owners, partners, awesome final pieces coming together for the exit partnership, which will be announced relatively soon. And then, building my own agency. So always looking at new opportunities, new arenas to walk into, but have some real drive and focus. People have asked me a number of times why I don't do coaching or consulting, but I choose a different way to work. I shouldn't say coaching or consulting. Coaching, not so much for me, but on the consulting side is where I feel the real difference is made from a number of different business perspectives. So I just want to focus on where I've been for 30 years and deliver value based on that. So it isn't coaching. Coaching kids in sports was fun, but I'm not coaching adults in business. Consulting, absolutely 100%. So that's it. That's this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully somewhere in here, there's inspiration for you to do great things.